Excuse me. Welcome back. This is part 3 of today's campaign update, and this is the State of the World part. I am Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki, the presidential candidate from the 24 presidential election in the USA, and I have not conceded, so I'm still a candidate. Welcome. Right now, it's State of the World, and the state of the world is really kind of crazy at the moment. Still, we got, Russia and the Ukraine still going on, and then we got Israel and Palestine, which has been going on for 78 years. And it's the longest conflict going on right now. It's just terrible. But let's start with Putin. So Putin and Zelensky, I think I've said it before, the main issue there is the nuclear subs. If something needs to happen, world needs to get involved in the security of that region because of those subs, we might have to. But I think Putin is not as powerful as he once, or as the USSR once was. And he would like to bring back some of that glory, which I can understand. But the problem is they broke apart, and a lot of the good things, or the space exploration part, and maybe some nuclear issues, were all in the Ukraine area. And so, I know it's hard that your country broke apart in the way it did, but you have to start respecting borders, period. You have to respect Ukraine as a country. They want to be separate, as far as I can tell. And but you bring up a good point with the nuclear subs, so there might need to be some sort of new solution there. But I think it's enough now. There is no need for the war, and it's just kind of not normal what you're doing. Your sort of attack of the Ukraine, this is addressed to Putin, has only brought NATO even closer to you. I will say that, Europe needs to really accept more of the Eastern Bloc countries than they are. Just because they don't have royalty doesn't mean that that they're not Europe. And so, there was a whole Mediterranean, European connection going on for a long time, and Russia was very much a part of it. And then things happened, and it's just time to recognize everybody as their own people and let them develop their own country personality. Let's go back to folk art and folk dance and folk music, and really get back to our roots, who we are, what is our character, what is our specialty. We've become too blended in a way, but also it's created divisions. And I think the one thing that did come out good, but the people who created it are the ones who are breaking it the most, and that is human rights. The UN did a great thing when they came out with their human rights agreement, or I don't know what it's called, but they were one of the first ones to break it. And that's like really shocking for me, but at least they did make the list, They made the rules, and we got to start holding each other accountable for these things. So, and that leads me definitely to Gaza, which, I mean, and that's what happened. So 80 years ago, the UN created this list of human rights, and then 2 years later, they broke them all, pretty much, when they cut up. They changed the name of an entire country from Palestine to Israel, and they flipped the amount of the responsibility of the country from one people to another. They just handed it over, along with the USA. I mean, you know, we're whatever. I'm personally not guilty, but my country is. And in fact, I mean, it's not even my country, it's the people who were running it at the time, and that was the Democrats, and that was Truman, President Truman. He signed up for changing Palestine to Israel, and that was unacceptable. And most of the people around there, most of the countries around there said no, and the UN and the US just ignored their voices. And this is unacceptable. So right now, they've come up with Trump has come up with a new plan. I haven't really looked at the details, but I read a little bit of some of the things that are in there. And I just think this is absolutely unacceptable. So, you know, Gaza has been under attack for 78 years. I mean, Palestine. Palestine has been under attack for 78 years. And it needs to stop. And the original map from 1947 needs to be honored. And these settlements that Israel has done by going in and kicking people out and then putting in Jewish people to take over homes and stuff, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable behavior that cannot be rewarded. So, you know, we need to remove the name Israel. I personally unrecognize Israel as a country. I absolutely unrecognize it. And I recognize Palestine as a country. And we need to flip it back to what it was, and then we need to figure out where some of the new settlements are that Israel has done, and find out if it's acceptable with the Palestinian Authority, if they will accept these new issues, these new land grabs that have happened from Israel. And then we can move forward. But it's my leaders have not been leading. They've been failing. And the UN has been failing the world in this area and in other places too. So, yeah, it's just unacceptable. So I recognize Palestine. I unrecognize Israel as a country. And Netanyahu needs to be arrested and tried for war crimes and other atrocities. Most of what's happened during my lifetime, he was the leader of the Israeli country and the IDF. So it's just shocking what they've gotten away with. Yeah, I wish I knew what else to say. So this is the state of the world. You know, this year I don't think we had a lot of heat waves like in the past. So, you know, we seem to be maybe on a cooling year. Maybe our, you know, heating up of the planet is slowing down. Plant more trees. Seal your roofs better. Turn down your thermostat in winter. And let's see if we can bring some snow back. I like snow. I'd like to be snowed in once or twice. That would be good. It's fun. What else? I guess Yeah, I mean, as far as the warring goes, put your guns and weapons down and let's sit down to the table, because all war ends in negotiation anyway. So stop the killing, stop the beating, stop the terrorism, stop the abuse. It's just time to stop violence. It's not necessary. But of course, I am a woman speaking. Maybe violence is a man thing, but I don't think it's necessary. And I don't like it in my world. So it's time to stop. Okay. So that's it. That's State of the World for now. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki. I am a presidential candidate from the 2024 presidential election, and my website, if you want to find out more about me, is susan4usa.com. That's Susan, the number 4, usa.com. And like and subscribe to my page here, and or my whatever, wherever you're visiting me from. Join up. Okay. That's it for now. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.